I was plainclothes, undercover operations. If I didn't want them to know I was the police, they didn't know I was the police. Oftentimes, the things that we would do, that I would do, I would be alone. You know, I'm not alone in the sense that there's not somebody watching me, but the action that I'm doing, I'm going to a location, meeting an unknown person in an unknown location, maybe in the dead of night or in an alleyway, that would put me at risk. You don't think about it. You do the job. It just becomes second nature. There was a night that I was out in a part of town about 2 or 3 in the morning. It was a dope deal, and I had gone to this location to purchase drugs. We wore wires for recording purposes, and also so that the team can monitor you when you're out wherever. The wire went dead, and I had been circled by a group of guys. Nobody was really sure where I was. And I wasn't sure that anybody was hearing me because nobody was coming. I was giving the word that tells them to come get you, and nobody was coming. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just didn't know. But for the grace of God, they found me. You come to a point where you realize that had it not been for God and God's protection over me, that could have gone a completely different. That's the kind of dangers that you're faced with in that situation. I force myself to say I'm not alone. You know, I'm never alone. I may be physically alone, but I'm not alone. And because if I didn't, I'd be terrified. I'd be scared to death. I wouldn't be able to do my job. I wouldn't be able to. They'd know. They would burn me in a minute. So those characters like Daniel in the lion's den, or the 3 Hebrew children that wouldn't bend the knee and they ended up in the fiery furnace. They were never alone, right? They may have seemed to be alone in the beginning, but they were never alone, and God delivered them, and God did the same for me. Having lived through those things and lived through 40 years of law enforcement, when I think back on those times, some of it scares me. Some of it makes me cry, because by the grace of God, I'm here today. And that's really the only reason.